in product costing, there are three parts. One is raw material cost, second one manufacturing cost, and indirect overheads. So the raw material cost we will get to, in the production order or maybe product cost planning through BOMs. Okay, this is PP. In the PP master data, okay, they'll create a BOM, bill of material. BOM is nothing but bill of material.
Yeah.
Okay. So in the bill of material, they will maintain for making, let's say yesterday we discussed, right? I mean, for making that car, these are the components are required. So how many components are required for making this product? They'll maintain the quantity in the bill of material. So when system calculate the cost, then system will check, okay, 4 wheels are required. Let's say one wheel cost is $100 or 100 euros. Okay. Then 4 wheels multiplied by 100, 400 euros, you will get as a cost for wheels. Same like chassis, one chassis, let's say some 500 euros or 300 euros. So 1 multiplied 300, like 300 euros. Likewise, you will get the material cost from the bill of material. This is PP master data. Again, this is routing. These are activity types, right? So this is raw materials. Now this part, activity types, activity type like machine labor setup. What we will do from costing perspective, we will calculate the rate or we will directly maintain the rate in KP26. Okay, per hour, like let's say labor is 10 euros, machine is 15 euros per hour, and setup is some 5 euros per hour. Okay, we will maintain the rates in the cost center with a combination of activity type each period wise. Then what these production people will create, they'll create a routing. In the routing, what they will do, they will maintain the operations. For example, first operation 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, in 4 operations, they'll complete the car. Let's assume. Okay, first operation, just bring the chassis. Okay, then assemble some components in the operation 1. Let's say fix the axle. Okay, fix the gearbox or fix the engine in the first operation. Okay, next operation, it will go to the next place or maybe next work center. Okay, there they will do some kind of fixings, like they will fix the doors or they fix the windshield. Okay, etc. So in the once the second operation is completed, that car will move to another operation or maybe another work center. There they will fix something. Okay, next it will move to another operation. Okay, there they will do some kind of another, maybe in between they also do quality operations and all, right? So so for what they have done, the quality department will come and they will do in process inspection, they call it as. Okay, in between, I mean, not only car, any product manufacturing, once a couple of operations are completed, in between the quality department will come, they will check how quality is, whether they are meeting their quality requirements or safety requirements, etc. If it doesn't, then what they will do, they will reject that product, or maybe they can suggest, okay, something is not good, do some kind of fixes. Okay, or the component which they have used may be damaged one, or maybe some kind of dents or something will be there, right? So in that case, what they will do, they'll replace the the particular component, or may that do some kind of fixing for that particular component. So in that operation, what they will maintain, let's say operation 1, in the operation 1, they do some kind of fixings, right? What they will mention, okay, in this operation, 10 or maybe 1 or 2 people are working, right? So they'll maintain, okay, for doing this operation, we need 5 hours of personal hours or maybe labor hours, 3 hours of machine we need, and 1 or 2 hours of setup we need. Okay, they'll maintain in the operations. how many activity types are there, each activity type, how many hours are required in each operation, they will maintain. Then what system does when we are doing the standard cost estimation, system will check, okay, we have 3 operations. First operation, it will go, what are all the activity types are there? Okay, I have activity types labor, machine setup. So it will go and pick the hours from routing, and it will also check cost from the cost center, and it will multiply and it will apply the cost. For example, I discussed personal cost is 10 euro per hour. Then let's say we have 10 hours here, 100 euros is the personal cost. Same like machine also, 5 euro or maybe 15 euro per hour. Here, let's say they have maintained 75 euros as a machine cost. Setup also same thing. So we will get the hours from the routing, and we will get the cost from the cost center. This is the integration between PP and CO. Okay, I will tell you how the system does the integration between PP and CO. I will tell you, but this is the high level how the cost will come for this routing. From the routing, the cost of this manufacturing cost will come. The third component is overheads. Okay, indirect overheads. So this indirect overhead, what we will do basically. So generally, these are the indirect, we discuss it, right? Some kind of procurement cost or material handling charges or some kind of production related expenditure, right? These costs are basically in the production cost center. Initially they post it to any particular production cost center. For example, procurement cost, they post it to a procurement cost center. Later they may transfer it to production cost center. In the production cost center, it will stay. I mean, what are all the expenditure we post to production cost center, right? When we do production order confirmation, what happens? The cost will debit to production order, and some cost will be credited to cost center. Okay. So still some cost portion will be remains, like I told, right? I mean, this procurement cost or some additional expenditure. This also we need to absorb to a particular product. So how you will absorb? There are 2 options. I mean, especially for the indirect overheads, you can absorb to products by using costing sheet or template allocation. Okay. The functionality of template allocation and costing sheet is similar, but template allocation is a little bit complicated. Costing sheet is a simple allocation, because in template allocation we need to write some kind of formulas, okay, and some configurations, and I mean, simple way is also there, but simple way doesn't help really. I mean, the functionality of template allocation, if you use simple, then it's more or less equal to costing sheet. But yeah, it has a bit complicated and more accuracy than costing sheet, I would say. But most of the people will use costing sheet only, not the template allocation. Okay. So in the overhead costing sheet, we will maintain the percentages. So yesterday we discussed on the material cost 10%. Let's say the total material cost is some 700 euros. On that, calculate 10%, means 70 euros as material overhead. Production overhead, same. Like on these personal cost, let's say personal cost is, total manufacturing cost is 200 euros. On that, calculate 5%. So 100, maybe 10 euros as a production overhead. But in the overhead calculation, we have for that we need a costing sheet here. I think, if you are from BCom or MBA, I would say rather BCom or MBA. If you are from commerce background, these all, you might be learned about all these in your books, right? Accounting or costing, especially if you are from ICW or CA, or maybe in format or BCom also in your MBA. I don't think we have this kind of cost calculations. In MBA, the finance part is very limited, but if you are from BCom or CA, ISWA, you will have the same kind of, the job cost. I mean, the job card, right? I mean, concept, there is a concept and cost allocations and everything are there in your course curriculum. Same thing, I mean, we do in SAP as well. So especially this, they call it as in the bookish knowledge, they call it as a job card. In the job card, I mean, what are all the materials they are using, they'll maintain. What are the activities they are doing, they also maintain. And overheads also we can calculate. So here, costing sheet we will use. In the costing sheet, yesterday we discussed there are 3 components. Like first one is base. Okay, what do you mean by base? Base is nothing but, see, for calculating material overhead, we are using these raw material cost elements. Okay, so when you are calculating the material overhead, system will check what are all the raw material cost elements we have created, right? Few cost elements, consumption, raw material consumption accounts. System will check those accounts, okay, and identify the amount. Okay, system found, I said, right? I mean, 700 euros it found. On 700 euros, it will calculate 10%. Same production overhead also. What cost elements we will mention? We have created 2 bases, right? If I go to system, controlling, product cost controlling, planning, overhead. So these are our base. So here in the base, what we mentioned, 3 cost element, 522, 523. These cost elements belongs to these raw materials. Okay. So system will check these, I mean, any cost lying on these cost elements while doing the standard cost estimation. If it found some kind of cost, then it will apply the percentage. Okay, and it will calculate. Same way for production overhead also, it will find its base, okay, and it will check the cost elements pertaining to this base, and if some cost is there, it will apply that percentage. Okay, then next one is percentage overheads. I mentioned, I mean, we discussed, right? In this, we will maintain how much percentage we need to calculate. How much percentage we need to calculate, and also dependency we also discussed, whether we want to apply the same percentage across the plant or you would like to apply different percentage rates for different material groups. That also it's possible, but again we need some additional information, like we need to take overhead key, we need to create this key, we have to assign in the material master. Okay, but generally people will go with plant wise overhead, but some people, I mean, especially in chemical, what do you say, the pharmaceutical industries, they'll go with overheads with reference to material group. There will be some kind of materials, I mean, nature, based on their nature of what do you say, the process. Sometimes in chemical industries, they call it as some precious metals, right? I mean, some kind of this, they'll use some kind of liquids which are very cost. Sometimes they also use this gold, chromium, some kind of precious metals also they use. So in that case, they'll use some extra, overheads, because while the raw material of gold, I mean, they're processing to get a good color, right? So that time they'll, waste some, I mean, they try, what I would say, I mean, some kind of waste we will get. Okay, so for that purpose, they use each material, they use a different kind of percentage rate. So that is also available, and any other parameter like profit center wise also you can maintain different percentage, or any for that matter. Even at each material level also, you can use a different percentage, but that will be a bit complicated to maintaining the master data and all. So generally people don't use that, but yeah, you can use plant, material group, company code, or profit center, whatever you like. Okay, that is this. Right. A third one probably, this you will get to know these credits. Okay, during calculation how it done. So in the credit, what this credit says, okay, through which cost element we need to calculate the overhead. Okay, so we have base, but once the cost is calculated, we need to transfer that cost to a driver, right? I mean, cost driver to a cost center. So in this credit, what will give, we will enter one cost element and cost center. So this is the overhead cost element with category 41 and the cost center, credit cost center, because I mean, at the end, this overhead belongs to the production cost center, and we need to give a production cost center here, or else for the overheads, sometimes business also create a separate cost centers for the overheads also. Okay. In my current project, they don't want to post these overheads to a production cost center. We are using some 4 kind of overheads. Okay, all 4 overheads has to go to different cost centers. Okay, so at the end, I mean, because each cost, their production value is very high. Okay, and their procurement and all other costs also very high. So that's what I mean. They created a separate 4 cost centers for this overhead calculation. They'll transfer, I mean, they will update these costs to that particular overhead cost centers, and they will monitor the overheads there separately. And they also plan overheads for this. That is a different story again. But yeah, so the credit, what happens when you calculate the overheads, right, at the month end to the production order, what happens? Debit, I mean, the overhead cost will be debit to the production order. The same time, some credit should be there, right? The credit goes to the cost center. Okay. Yeah, that, I mean, we will get to know very clear, I mean, how it happens. I mean, in the demo, I mean, when we do the production order demo, then you will get to know more clarity on the credit part. Okay, that's how the overheads gets calculated, and it will update to the production cost center. If at all any balances, I mean, because already procurement cost posted via FI, right? When they or maybe purchase order something, they'll get the procurement cost and I mean everything. So there will be some debit and credit at the production. I mean the costing. What do you say? The overhead cost center. And if there are any differences, again that difference they can transfer to COPA, or else still, I mean, it depends what kind of profitability analysis they're using. I mean, if they use cost of sales accounting, that means functional area concept, then definitely they will transfer to COPA. Otherwise, some businesses, I mean, if they're not pretty clear with their costing concepts and all, just they will analyze the cost at the cost center level only. They don't, do any further processing. Like we have created all the components. Now we have to combine all these components. Okay. Now for that, we need to create a costing sheet, define costing sheet. Okay, these are the standard costing sheets are available. As we will create IN10 as a costing sheet. Looks like, I mean, it's latest version, right? 2023. The event based also it came. This is a new feature. Especially earlier, the event based postings are available. What do you say in cloud version? Okay, basically, I mean, in S4, the new functionality is event-based costing. Okay. I don't know. I mean, here it will work or not, but the solution is already available in cloud version. What do you mean by event-based costing? I will tell you. But once the universal parallel UPA, right? I mean, I think earlier I told like UPA, universal parallel accounting. If that is also activated, UPA, if UPA is activated, then this event-based posting is possible. What do you mean by event-based posting? Okay, generally this overheads to the production order, right? When it will get updated at the month end, when you run a particular transaction code, then system will update the overheads, okay, at the month end. But with the concept of event-based, what happens? Let's say you have raw materials, right? Goods issue. When the moment you issue your goods, okay, what happens? System automatically calculate the overhead, okay, during goods issue. It will find the raw material cost and it will update the overhead. Okay, no need to wait till the month end. This functionality is already available in cloud version and also UPA. But I don't know in this system whether UPA is activated or not. I'll check. I mean, there is a transaction code SW something to activate business functions. Does anybody know? We will activate all the business functions, right?
SFW5. SFW5.
SFW5. But I'm doubt like UPA they will give in the system. Continue. S4 scope functions. Yeah, this UPA. No, UPA is not active actually. Universal parallel accounting migration.
So you are checking for the universal parallel accounting. So there are limitations to it. The universal parallel accounting is the new feature. So if you activate it, so there will be some transactions which will be obsolete, and yeah, on your event-based costing, yes, it has an impact on that also.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to activate. Just I would like to check whether it is activated already or not. I'm not going to activate it.
Huh. No, if you wanted to activate it, it is fine.
No, I'm not going to activate it because it will make our life difficult. So at the moment, I will not activate. Okay, since I mean this event-based posting is, and I mean this is available here, so I thought of checking whether it is somebody activated it or not in the test system. But yeah, because it's available from 2023 version onwards. But this event-based postings are already available in cloud version, but on premises those are not available. Okay, with UPA that will be available. Okay, this event-based posting, all your costing month-end process, right? Like overhead calculation, variance calculation, WAP calculation, everything will be done automatically. We no need to run month-end jobs in future. Okay, all are happens automatically as and when there is a goods movement. Okay, good issue, during good issue, system will calculate the overhead and it will calculate the WAP. Okay, it will update to accounting. So when you do production order confirmation, it will calculate the production. I mean, it will update the manufacturing cost and it will calculate the production overhead, and again it will calculate the WAP and it will update. At the same time, when you do goods receipt, it will reverse the WAP, okay, and it will update the stock. it will calculate the variance and it will settle it. So all these month-end process will be automatic. There is no need of doing again at the month end. Okay, that's what event-based postings. Okay, but this is now not available in normal. What do you say? In normal on-premises version, we need UPA, or else the same functionality is available in cloud version already. Okay, time being, I'm not doing this. Now costing sheet rows. New entries, row 1. Here, these are the numbers. You can use any number like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or 100, but start using from 1 because you can use still maximum. It will give you 4 digits, I think. Okay, 3 digits. So if you are using only one costing sheet for one controlling area and you have multiple company codes and multiple plants, in that case, you should be very careful because the costing sheet will be very big. For each plan, let's say, you have some 50, 60 company codes in your organization, and let's say, you have different kind of rates and all, then you have to use so many lines. So it's better to start with one. If the lines are very less, then you can use any number like 100, 200, something like that. Let's start one. Select the base. Our base is material overhead. Okay, this is material overhead. Okay, second one. This is 2. Here, overhead rate we have to take. So ours is ZM1. This is the material overhead. Okay, what is the base from? On this we need to calculate, right? Line 1. Material overhead we will calculate on the base. So this is the base. So we have given from 1 to 1 rows. So system will take cost element from this base, and overhead rate we have given. It will take the overhead rates from this and credit. You have to assign here. What is our credit? Material overhead. In the credit, we have cost element and cost center. Third one, we have another costing sheet. Overhead rate, the production overhead. No overhead rate. This is 4. Okay, here 3 and 3. Okay, on this row for production overhead, you have to consider the base of this one, right? So you have to mention these rows. Let's say, the production overhead, if you want to calculate from, this overhead also, you want to calculate these cost elements and these cost elements together. In that case, you have to give 1, 2, 3. Okay, here you need to mention 1, 2, 3. Then what happens? Let's say your base is like material overhead, and also you have to consider production overhead. Both the cost elements, if you want to consider for production overhead, then you have to give like this 1, 2, 3, so that here it is 1,000 euros. Here it is some 500 euros. Both it will take like 1,500 euros. On that it will calculate the overhead. So, but we are considering material cost for material overhead and production cost, manufacturing cost for the production overhead, right? So this is enough, and we need to enter the credit here. Production overhead. Okay, that's it. This is the costing sheet, simple and linear costing sheet. There we have 2 kind of overheads. We have created it. Now this costing variant, we have to assign to valuation variant. We have created already the costing valuation variant, right? Define costing variants. ZPC1 is our costing variant. Go here and valuation variant. This is the valuation variant. Here overhead. So here we need to assign IN10 costing sheet. So overhead here there are two options: overhead, finished and semi-finished product. Basically, we will update the overhead for the semi-finished and finished products. Some people will also use overheads for component material. I mean raw material also. If you want to add some kind of overheads, then here also you have to select the costing sheet. Okay. But I'm not selecting here. I don't want to update overhead for the raw materials. Overhead on subcontracting materials. So I told you right yesterday there are some kind of subcontracting materials. For those materials also, if you want to update overheads, then select this tick box. Okay, I'm not selecting it as of now. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Now the product cost planning configuration is completed. Okay, we have created the planning, we have created origin groups, we have created costing sheet, costing variant, and cost component structure. Okay, now we need to create the master data. Okay, but I think for master data creation, since in S4 HANA, now what we have to create, we need to create material master, we need to create work center, we need to create routing, and we need to create BOM. These four master data we need to create. Okay, for routing and work center we can create independently, but for material master creation, okay, we need to activate material ledger. In S4 HANA, material ledger activation is mandatory. Okay, if you don't activate material ledger, then you cannot run your goods movements, or you cannot even create a material master if you don't activate material ledger. Okay, that is the mandatory in S4 HANA. Whether you use it material ledger functionality or not, that is different story. But minimum configuration you have to do, and you have to activate the ML for your plant. Okay. What I will do, I mean, right now we will just do the configuration material ledger at a high level. Okay. Then later we will again, I mean, once this product costing is completed, we will run the ML cycle and everything. I will explain all the goods movements, how the material ledger will work. Okay. Otherwise, I mean, we cannot do the product cost planning demo in the system. Okay. Now go to product cost controlling, actual costing material ledger. Okay. So first, assign currency type and define material ledger types. So these are the standard ones available. For example, 0001. It has two options, like group company code currency, group currency. Okay, this is standard one. Okay, for with this this is basically, I mean, in material ledger, I already told you, right? You have two kind of I mean, three valuations, I would say: legal valuation, profit center valuation, group valuation. Okay. Three valuations. Excuse me. Three valuations you can have. Otherwise, two currencies. I mean, when I say this group currency also legal valuation. Okay. That means company code currency is legal valuation, group currency also legal valuation. If you use 1030, and you can add one more valuation here, either profit center valuation or group valuation. Okay. If you use only 10, one currency, and then you can use additionally three valuations like profit center valuation, group valuation. Okay, the limitation is three. Maximum three I mean, either two currencies, one valuation, or one currency, two valuations, or three valuations. Okay. But legal valuation is mandatory. That is current company code currency, legal valuation. Apart from that legal valuation, you can have two more valuations like what do you say? Group currency, group valuation. Okay. Yeah. And profit center valuation. So here you have to discuss with your business what because it's very important. This currency profile setup. Once you have done it, and again you cannot change anything here. Once you have done this material ledger configuration, and you have defined your currency type, you have done material ledger as productive, then it's it. That's it. Okay. Once some postings are happen, you cannot deactivate ML, and you cannot do anything with this configuration. So this is very important. What kind of valuations they would like to have, whether they want to use profit center group valuation or not. Okay. That you have to discuss at the beginning. Okay. So now what we will do, we will copy this one, because I mean this is again linked to your Fins ledger configuration. What are all the currency types you will maintain here, right? Accordingly, now you have created 1030, it's fine. But again, let's say if you have assigned here currency type 31, that 31 currency type you have to maintain in your Fins ledger also. Or basically what happens, basically this 1030 will be derived by 10, right? Whenever you use currency type 30, it will take the currency type from 10 and it will convert to 30. If you maintain here 31, again you have to create 11 also in your Fins ledger. So for 31 currency, that is group valuation, I told you, right? Currency it's showing, but yeah, if you add 31 here, 31 is like profit group valuation. In that case, you have to define 11. I mean 11 is the base for 31. So you have to define the 31 currency, 11 currency and 31 currency in the what do you say, Fins ledger configuration. Okay. Time being, what I will do, I will not use any group valuation. I will use only company code currency and group currency in the material ledger. Okay. I will use the I'll just copy this one and I will use the same thing. I copy new entries otherwise. Here I need to assign the currencies. 10 is by default. Here I will assign 30. See, 31 also you can assign group currency, group valuation. Okay, but again, for this, we need to maintain some kind of configuration in the fixed ledger. Okay, let's have it group currency also. No. So I have created one material ledger type, and I mentioned what are all the currency types I need. Assign material ledger type to valuation area. Now we have to assign this to our plant. What is our plant? IN10. So IN10 by default, this is assigned, but we have to assign this one. Okay. Now activate material ledger for valuation area. Activate material ledger. Okay. IN10. So IN10 material ledger. Okay. Status as of now, it's showing material currencies are not allowed. ML currencies are not allowed in FI. See, group currency, group valuation, ML currency type, but FI currency type. ML currency type, but not FI currency type. So 31 is not defined in FI. So that's what it's giving error message to me. Okay. These two currencies are fine. Okay, ledger 0L, company code settings. And so I have 1030. I need year 11 and 31. Okay. Currency conversion setting. Okay. Currency conversion settings. Okay. Okay. Now for IN10, we need to do this currency type settings, right? So this one only, let's copy. This one 31. Currency 11 has a wrong valuation 0. Currency 11. Okay. Let's, time being, let's, remove the group valuation. We will go with group currency and company code currency only, because this 11 looks, we need some setup and it's asking so many things. Okay, let's not, use this one, because if we need 11, it's not available in the system. So it will make our life will be difficult. I don't know why it's not available in here. Then go to ML again. Okay. So here you have to activate the material ledger and price determination, what you have to use here. So anybody know what do you mean by 2 and 3 price determination? Okay. See, material ledger you want to activate, but you don't want to use it. Okay. Let's say, from system perspective, it's mandatory, right? In that case, you want to use the material ledger. You want to activate the material ledger, but you don't want to use the functionality of the material ledger. In that case, what you will select? You will select the this one, price determination 2, means your actual costing. If you select 2, only material ledger is active, but you cannot use the actual costing. That means you cannot run your material ledger month end closing. The CKML cockpit, right? CKML CP. There is a transaction code for material ledger month end process. So if you select 2, and system will not allow you to run CKML CP for those materials. For what are all the materials in a particular plant, you can have multiple materials, right? So in that materials, some of the materials you can keep 2, some materials you can keep 3. So if you want to use the actual costing also, then you have to select 3. Okay. But if you want to use 2, if you use 2, then you cannot use it for actual costing. You can use material ledger, but just it will give you 2 views in the material master. Like you can have your company code currency, you can have your group currency, but at the month end, you cannot run any kind of material ledger activity for that material. So we will use actual costing also. I will select 3 here, price determination. There is one more checkbox here, price determination binding in valuation area. So what happens if you select here binding? So by default, 3 will get updated. Okay. So if you select here 3 again, after going to the there also, if you want, you can change it to 2 or vice versa. Okay. If you do binding, and it will by default, it will update to 3. So I'm using material ledger with actual costing. Okay. Select this one. After activating material ledger, live data must be converted. Okay. Material ledger is activated. Now, actual costing. In the actual costing, to be honest, I mean, we don't have much configuration. Just activate actual costing. Okay. IN10. So it is already active. Actual costing is active. Account this time being, you can give 1. I will tell you later why it's 1. And also activate actual cost component split. IN10. Actual cost component split activation per plant can affect performance. Okay, let it be. So what happens when you select this activate actual cost component split? Okay, you have during the product cost planning also you will get the cost component split, but that is a plan cost. For actual cost also you will get actual cost component split in the material master. I will show you. I mean, during the material ledger, once the material ledger is active, what do you mean by actual cost component and everything? Just I mean now I have activated this. Okay. Now, so material ledger is active. Okay. This is, I mean, the config from the material ledger, right? I mean, the configuration perspective, it is very simple. Okay, we did what we have done. We have created, what do you say? Yeah, the material ledger type where we have assigned the currencies. What are all the currencies you're gonna use in your material ledger, like 1030. Then we have assigned the material ledger type to plant, activate material ledger, activate actual cost component split, and activate actual costing. That's it. 5 steps. Okay. And also one more step is there, product costing, actual costing. Not here. Material ledger, material update. Define moment type group for material ledger. This is not required. Assign moment type groups for material ledger. This is also not required. Okay. Define material update structure. Standard. Okay. Actually, I mean, why I came to this step, right? So there is a significance effect on your material ledger actual costing. Okay. So this material update, if you see here, define moment type groups for material ledger. Here there are CC and CF. Okay. So CF means it's only finance revaluation. When you are doing your CKML CP, okay, whether you would like to revaluate those material movements or not. Okay, this is both FI and CO revaluation. Okay, so some of the goods movements, for example, next step, assign movement type groups to material. Here, if you see here, these are the movement types actually. 101 transaction type. When you say transaction type, it's a movement type basically, goods receipt. Okay, for goods receipt, generally, I mean, we will not do any kind of revaluation. So only for consumption, especially if it is 601, that means you are moving the goods to customer. Okay, they have assigned CC. Okay, so let's say what it does when you transfer goods to the customer with the standard cost, the COGS will be posted. Correct? I mean, COGS posting, right? When you create a sale order and you have done the delivery, that time inventory will get posted, right? I mean, your inventory will be reduced and COGS gets posted during the delivery. It will post on finance document. That document will be posted with a standard price, which is there in the material master. Okay, the price which we calculate. At the month end, when you calculate material ledger, system will identify the price differences and it will also adjust that differences to already posted COGS value. Okay. In order to make that COGS value revaluation, you have to assign this CC here. I will show you, I mean, this also I will show you in the demonstration how it works. So by default, what happens if in the development system, all this configuration is available like this. Okay. The CCs will be assigned by default. But when you go to quality system or production system, these all will be blanks. Okay. At least here you see some kind of CCs, right? 601 wherever some CC are there. But in production system, you don't this configuration. So what you have to do, you have to come to this place, okay, and you have to select this whole config, okay. Then you have to transport. You have to include in your transport request. Then you have to move it to other systems. Otherwise, this configuration will not be available in the test and production systems. So for that purpose, I came here. Yeah. So basically, the goods movements like 601 or 261 movement type also. See, for 261 also it's available. So all the goods issues, it will. I mean, we have to update this CC. I mean, by default it is available, but we have to move this configuration, especially when you are doing the material ledger. What do you say? Material ledger with actual costing. Okay. What happens if you don't? I mean, if you forget this, it will not stop you your material ledger, postings or something, because already standard configuration is available. It will work like that. But what happens? Okay. When you do your CKMLCP, that time your COGS revaluation will not happen. Like when it will post the detailed COGS split, but the revaluation, whatever the price differences you will get, those price differences will not get adjusted to your COGS split. Then you will come to know this step while doing material ledger. I mean, you will run the material ledger CKMLCP. There also it will not give you any error message. Okay, it will post the price differences and it will post to price difference directly the one COGS account, but you will not get any split or something unless you analyze your ML closing very thoroughly with a eagle eye, I would say. Then only you will get to know this revaluations and everything. I mean, okay, then we did a mistake or something. It's very important. So this configuration, you have to manually move it. Okay. Now assign this material ledger structure to a valuation area. I think by default it will be there for our company code. It's already there. No need to do anything here. Okay. So material ledger configuration is very simple. Okay. Only the analysis part is a bit complicated. Okay. It's not so complicated. Just, I mean, once you started working on material ledger, it will be easy only. But the only thing is when we are learning, it will be a bit difficult and you will not get confidence unless you make your hands dirty in the system. Then it's very easy. Okay. Now material ledger is activated, but you have to make the material ledger productive. Only activation will not work. You need to make it as productive. For that, you have to run one transaction code, CKM start. When the moment you come to this transaction code, it will show you all the open plants, okay, which are not activated for material ledger or production run. Okay, execute. So material ledger is activated. Now we are ready to create material master. Okay. So see, I mean, the configuration point of view, it's very simple. Again, I'm repeating. Don't get confused. I mean, 4 or 5 steps are there in the material ledger. Only the analysis part, I will tell you. I mean, during product cost planning also, or creating material master also, I will tell you impacts of material ledger. Okay. Only analysis are important in the material ledger. Okay, everyone, or any questions? Yeah, I know. I mean, discussing material ledger at the very beginning of product costing is a bit complicated. Yeah. Just, I mean, first we will understand the basic concept of product costing, then slowly we'll get to know. Now let's create a material master. MM01. Okay. Let's see. I will create FC hyphen 100. Let's say this is the car. Okay. We will take car as an example. Industry, mechanical industry, material type, FERT, FERT. Okay, I'm using all the standard ones here. This FERT is nothing but material type. Okay, it represents the finished good, finished product. Enter. Select basic 1, basic 2, which are all required. I will select. Okay, sales org 1, 1, 2. But I don't know whether sales organizations are available. But let's see. MRP 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. Nesting work scheduling. Let's select these ones. Plant, general plant. Okay. Accounting 1, costing 1. I will make default as of now. Let's see later. We see. Okay, plant IN10. Let's say we will take the car. Let's name one thing, anything like Honda Activa. Let's take Tata. Tell me any model in Tata. Tata Tiago, probably. Okay, this is the car I am going to manufacture. Okay. Base. We have given the description. Then you have to select the base unit of measure. I mean, whether it is piece, each, whatever it may be. I will go with each. Okay, EA. Here it is, nothing is required. Sales organization. Okay, any sales related information if you want to use here, like division something, you have to enter here. Okay, MRP type. Let's take ND. This is all related to PP. This MRP views or belongs to PP. They need it for MRP planning. Okay, let's type. I mean, we need some of the fields important here. Wherever are important, I will stress it out. Let's say, MRP1, nothing is required. Just select ND. MRP2 here. You need to focus on this one, procurement type. We have different type of procurement types. Okay, one is E, in-house manufacturing. F is external procurement, and X is both F and X. Okay, so when you are creating a material master, then you have to decide whether you are going to manufacture this product or you are going to procure this product. Okay, since this is a finished product, I am manufacturing in-house, so I will select procurement type E. Okay, if you select X, that means sometimes you will procure this product internally, in-house manufacturing, sometimes you may procure from outside also. Okay. If both you want to use, you go with X, otherwise E or F. Okay. It is very important for procurement type. Okay. Then I said, right, special procurement type. Here, if you see subcontracting, optional procurement, stock transfer, phantom assembly, or something like that, different are there. So if this material is subcontracting material, then you have to select 30. Okay, then system will understand, okay, this particular product is subcontracting related material and it needed subcontracting related information. Okay, time being, I am selecting as procurement type E. Special procurement type, I'm not selecting anything. Okay. MRP 3. Here also nothing is required. MRP 4 also not required. Forecasting. Testing model. What it is. Work scheduling. So here, this is accounting. I mean, it is our part where we need to focus on. So ML by default, it's activated. If you see, okay. So one more thing is like, if you see, you have activated ML, but you have not executed the production. That's CKM start, right? I mean, product 2. Still, system will allow you to create material ledger. I mean, sorry, material master. But this flag will be disabled. I mean, it won't be available. This flag is not active. Okay. What happens? I mean, in real time projects when we are doing, right? See, we are busy with all our activities. What we will see, like, we still discuss with business on the currency types and all. Okay. And then we will not activate unless the currency types finalization not happen. We will not activate this one. By the time what happens, the logistics teams for their testing, they'll simply create the material master and they do some kind of testings. Okay. If you don't select this one, then what we will do, let's say, I mean, at the moment the create a material master, this flag is disabled. But later we have activated the material ledger. Okay. Then what happens? This material ledger, this material will not have this flag. When they use the goods movement, it will not happen the goods movement. Okay, then they will come to us. Okay, activate material ledger. What we will say, we have already activated, but the flag is not active for this material. So to mitigate these kind of issues, because once it is disabled means we cannot activate this one for this material. Even they cannot use this material anymore. Again, we need to go to SAP and we need to ask them to run some program so that it will get activated. So in order to mitigate those kind of issues, you should not allow anyone to create material master unless you activate ML completely. Okay, if you are using material ledger with actual costing. Okay. Unless you make material ledger productive, no one should create any kind of material in the system. Otherwise, they will have a problem, whether it is test system or in production environment. Most of the cases, we will not get issue because we will have the cutover plan. Accordingly, people will start doing the master data creation unless the cutover checks, final cutover checks are completed and we have given green light to everyone. Okay, let's go ahead and create your master data. Till that time, no one creates the master data. In production, it's not a problem, but especially in development and most of the cases, we will get this kind of issues in development system. Even quality also, for that sake, we have some kind of planning. Okay. Once the transports are moved to quality, they will ask us to do the checks, configuration checks, and activation, some kind of checks we will do. That's not a problem. But test system, you will get this kind of problem, and they will chase as okay, activate material ledger, activate material ledger. Okay. And price determination in the configuration, we discussed it, right? We have selected price determination 3, but still, if you want to select it to 2, you can change it here. But since I would like to use the actual costing also, let it be here. This is material ledger, these two things. Then if you see here, it has 2 views. Okay. If you don't use material ledger, here you will not have the second view. You will have only the company code. I mean, you can have the price in company code currency. Okay. You will not have the currency in group currency. Okay. If you activate the 31, it will appear one more box here, like the same what we have here, right? Like 31 with group currency, group valuation. Okay. So maximum you can have 3 views. So now what we have company code currency and we have group currency. Both are legal valuations. We can have one more valuation here. Okay. For example, your company is using hard currency or something. There also you can use that. Also it will be available. Hard currency is 40. Some countries like Mexico, they will use it. Okay. The hard currency. Okay. This is the functionality of material ledger. Okay. It will give you different kind of valuation views, right? Your company code currency, group currency. So you can see your inventory value in both the currencies. Let's say, I mean, here it is USD, both the currencies. But when your company code uses Euro or USD, but your company code, I mean, local currency is, let's say, INR, but group currency is USD, then you can have your INR value here, and also we can have your USD value here. Okay. So it will give you the business, like what is my inventory valuation in USD and what is my inventory valuation in INR. Okay. So now here we need to assign the valuation class. Okay. So for finished product, we have 2 valuation classes. So we have to select one valuation class here, finished product. Price have been calculated. So accounting 2, nothing is required. Then go to costing. Here, okay. So select the material origin. Here we have variance key, profit center, etc. If you want to use profit center, you enter the profit center here. Variance key for actual costing. Later also we can assign here. Yeah, the origin groups we discussed it, right? That origin group we need to assign here, but for finished product it's not required. Okay, here costing as of now the prices and everything is what do you say? Everything is blank now. But here, if you see price control S, I think S here only will be there. Here, the price control. Okay, S means it's a standard price. We have 2 kind of price controls. One is S, another one is V. Okay. So generally, phenomena, I mean, normal phenomena is like we will use standard price for semi-finished product and finished products. Yes, V is moving average price. Okay. But when you use material ledger with actual costing, whether it is raw material or semi-finished product or finished product, we use S. Okay. With price determination 3, V is not possible, because if you use V, then you cannot use price determination 3. When you say it's V, that means it's moving average price. Okay. You know, right? I mean, moving average price, as and when you do a goods movement, the price change, I mean, the price will get calculated automatically with your goods movements. But when you say standard price, the standard price is constant for a particular period unless you run the costing run for the next month. or maybe next quarter. For that matter, 1 year also, it will have the same price, irrespective of your goods movements. Okay. So if you are using material ledger with actual costing, this price control is yes. If you are using material ledger but not using actual costing, then still you can have control as every year. For example, if I make it to 2, okay, see, this is enabled now. I can make it V. Okay. But if I make it 3 here, oh, 1 second. If I make it 3 here, then again, I need to go to another transaction and I have to, I mean, this is by default deactivating. So there is one more transaction, then we need to go to that transaction and we need to change the price control. Let me do it yes only first. Yes, this is 3. Okay, you got it right. So if you want to use material ledger with actual costing, you have to use, I mean, the price determination is 3. If it is price determination 3, means all the materials by default in your plant will be S. Okay. But if you want to some of the materials V and you don't want to use the material ledger actual costing for them, still you can, while defining, you select the price control 2 and it will become V. Those materials will not be part of material ledger. I mean, it will be part of material ledger, but it will not be part of actual costing. Okay. So when you say material ledger, this has 2 components basically. One is one is material ledger and another one is actual costing. Okay, material ledger is only this view. I mean, to give your inventory valuation in different currencies, this is material ledger functionality. Okay, in order to inventorize your price differences to materials, that is the actual costing. I mean, at the month end, we will arrive all the price differences. Then those price differences we will adjust to inventory at the end, right? That is actual costing. Okay, now we are getting one error message because of OBYC setup. Consumption account cannot be determined. Okay, see, for IN10 GBB VBR, this 7920, we need GL account. Okay, now let's go to FS00 GL accounts. Where it is? Somebody change company card. IN10. Expenses. Yeah, okay, we have created that one GL account. Okay, for finished product, that is FZ COGM. Okay, you can name it as factory output of production or COGS manufacturer. It's completely depends upon the business. Okay, how they name this GL account. But at the end, I mean, it's FZ consumption. Okay, we need to create this account and we have to assign in GBB IN10 debit credit. Okay, so valuation class GBB, valuation modifier, general modifier, VBR. Valuation class 7920. Account 5,50,000. I think everyone aware of this, right? Same thing VBR. Okay, we need valuation class also. Later we will come. Problem. MM01. Again, FC100. I think storage location also we will take one storage location. Okay, now we have created the material master. Now we will try to create another raw material, MM01, like RM100, like wheels. Wheels we are creating. Okay, for wheels also you can select the quantity as EA, each. Here also it's ND. So basically wheels are like raw materials, right? So we are procuring from them outside. So I will select as F. Here we need to select the valuation class. Oh, sorry. MM01 RM100. So material type, we have to select raw material related material type. Okay, ROH. Raw material. Wheels. Yeah, if you see when I select ROH by default, this procurement type came as F. Okay. So here, if you see here, anything, I mean, everything is similar, like yes, though it's raw material, we are using actual costing. The price control is yes. Here we have for raw materials, we have so many values. Just like, for example, take 3,000. But again, we will get issue with that OBYC. So what we will do, we will maintain this raw material consumption account. Where it is, RM consumption, yeah, this one, 5,20. OBYC. Again, GBB, VBR. GBB. Same we need to maintain for raw material also. 5 lakh. Sorry, this is 3,000. 5 lakh 20. 5 lakh 20. Here we will maintain all others also. Other one we will take 3 lakh 1. 5 lakh 1. 5 lakh 2. Twenty, 23 consumables. So I have assigned all the consumption accounts here in GBB, VBR, okay? When you do consume this raw material, right? System will post an accounting document.
Yeah, that is agreed, because that for that one we need to perform some different transaction, right? Either Migo or
Correct,
MB1.
correct. But since these all interlinked, right? Material ledger is activated. We are using, yes, especially in S4 HANA, considering the costing based accounting based COPA and everything, right? So it's mandatory to do this OBYC setup as well, unless you complete, because this is linked with your this valuation classes. As and when you try to enter the valuation class here, system will expect, a GL account, determination here. So that configuration should be available. We need only consumption, right? So this all our part. The another leg is like inventory. Inventory it will not expect, as and when you do your original goods movement, that time only inventory will get expected. But when we are talking about this material ledger and everything, we only talk about the consumption accounts, not the inventory accounts. It will track all the consumptions. The another leg will apply. Let's say now if you try to do a MIGO, then it will expect, okay, BSX is not missing. But when you are doing all CO setup, it will expect only the consumption accounts. The expense accounts, not the balance sheet accounts. Okay, and one more thing is like we have assigned, the cost component and everything, cost component structure, OBYC, this material valuation class, everything is interlinked in the back end. All these things are correlated, so we need to map them. Okay, here for raw materials, you can maintain a do not cost checkbox, because we are not going to cost them. But still, the ML, what do you say? The material ledger will capture the price. If there are any price differences, it will capture it. But generally, for raw materials, we will not do standard cost estimations. Okay, but you can enter price here in the material master itself. For example, for raw materials, for one quantity, you can enter like 100 USD. Okay, so by default in both the places 100 USD got updated. So for cost of the raw material is like 100 euros for one quantity. Cost element is not assigned to a cost component structure. 01. What it is. We have already assigned, but I think now I got the problem, because this current period is showing 1998. then we need to do something. OMWD. This is not OMSY. Yep, this one. This we need. Period. Now it is period 5, right? How many years? Like 2000, 20 years. For 20 years, we have to perform that one. If you want to change the
is Z1, right? It is not 01.
no, that's what I mean. Ours is Z1, but let me see. Okay, TZ.
Maybe that assignment, it has been.
Yeah, because I mean, 01 is assigned from so many. This Z1, right? I mean, 01. If you go here, it is masking for all company code, all plants from this line. Okay. So
Is it
that's what.
possible to remove? Is it possible to remove that line because that is not relevant to us, right?
No, but if this system being used by someone else, those guys will get error.
But 01 is a standard, no? That is impacting us, right?
No, but again, I mean, whether you do the change here or there, we need to perform. I mean, now we can remove all the above configuration. Okay, but MMPB still we need it from what do you say? From 1998. We cannot escape that one. You got my point?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I have another option for this MMPB. OMSY. Let me try. I mean, if it works, we are good. Otherwise, and then I need to check the period for this. MARV. Okay. Yes. Company code IN10. Display. We will try to delete, I mean, change it in the debug mode. Let's see. Select.
In the right-hand side panel, you can directly enter that instead of doing like that.
Control records for actual CCS missing for values in area. This is the problems with ML, you know. SC38. Execute. Listen to IN10. Test run. Hopefully it will work. Otherwise, oh my goodness, something is problem. Cost element is not assigned to cost component structure Z1. Okay, this we can do it, not a problem. Okay, TZ. Where I blocked. Here, okay. Okay, it's saying 50 is not assigned. So let's assign here. I mean, it's finished goods related information, but still you can assign here in the raw material part. It will not really, calculate any cost and update to this GL account, but for the technical reason, we need to assign the semi-finished, I mean the finished product consumption account, the COGS account also in the cost component structure. So 550, 110. Now it is asking to enter value work area for non-kill fee. Okay. Oh, see, production already took. Okay, cost component structure. See, by default, whenever you do changes, it get deactivated. So you have to activate again. Now we have to go to this program. Again, execute. Okay, it's clear now. Now it will allow us to create the material master. So see, this is what I mean. When you use material ledger with actual costing, especially everything is interlinked. Whenever you do your OMSY setup, right? I mean your MMPV, this this kind of inconsistencies are quite common when you are doing your ML and actual costing, especially with ACS, actual cost component split. So if you are using all these functionalities in your test system, it's quite common that you will get your this kind of errors. Then certain programs are there. Just now I executed one program, right? That program you have to execute. If that program also doesn't work, then you have to go to SAP. Okay, 99% it will work. Sometimes it will not work. In that case, if actual data is already posted, then you have to delete all the actual data and you have to deactivate your ML and again you have to activate it. That way it will work. Otherwise, because deleting actual data is not possible, you have to delete all the the data from goods movements, okay, data from CO, everything you have to delete, which is related to ML tables. I mean, you have to clean all ML tables, okay? Otherwise, we need to go to SAP and they will have some correction notes. That's the challenge with ML. Okay, now it will allow us to create the material master. Let me create. I have not entered the storage location. I would like to enter that as well. Okay, this is 3000. 600. Material origin. So I think for wheels, we have created the origin group, right? Let me check. SPRO. Control. Product cost. Yeah. Okay, for wheels, we have created origin group. Okay, so you have to enter that origin group here. Otherwise, we will not get our breakup. Okay, So we have to link the origin group to wheels material. So I have assigned here. Okay. Now let's save. So raw material is created as wheels. Now we have to create another one. What it is? Chassis. Okay. RM200. I'll name it as RM200. This is also, I'll name it EC. C, ND. So for chassis also, I will use the same, valuation class, like 3000. So this I will enter the price here, for example, some 300 euros, or maybe more than that. €500. Yeah. Costing, material origin. Again, origin group we have to assign here, chassis. Save. So next one is engine. Engine, okay, engine. Okay, engine we will create as SFG. We discussed it, right? SFG, semi-finished product. SFG. Sorry, HALB. HALB is the semi-finished product. This we will create as SFC 100. Okay. Same thing, same storage location. So engine. Okay. So SFG also you can make it as, let's keep it X. Either let's say assume you can create it as a procure and you can also manufacture it. Okay. And so valuation class semi-finished product 7900. Okay. I think 790 we need to enter OBYC setup also. Let's go to OBYC. BBB 7900 BBR. For SFG, what account we used? 00. Expenses. SFG consumption 21. Okay. So this one we need to use. So this line not required at the moment. Okay, remove it. Because 79 we are using 21 this one. 02 is something else. Okay. Now 21. Not for this origin group is not required because we are using a separate valuation class for this. So I'm not entering anything here. This is also I'm not entering. Okay. Now SFG is engine is created. No other external parts. RM 300. We have to select again ROH. These also, like, I'll keep is E only, or ND. Okay. Great. So values in class. So we have origin group, right? Well, other externals, I think we have an origin consumables. Yeah. So other externals, okay, we will use the same raw material related values in class here, 3000. Okay, I will enter some cost also, like 300 euros for one, let's say, into costing one, we need to enter the origin group, other externals. Select this one also. Okay, so raw material is created. Now last one is consumables. This is also raw material, okay. RM 400. Oops, I need to enter storage location also. Otherwise, again, we need to come back here. We need to do it. Okay, consumables. Sorry, base unit. Let's go to the base unit of measure. Let's keep it as kg because the consumables, nuts, bolts, and everything will make it as kg. EA and packing data already maintained on the base unit. Okay. So values in class, we will use it 3000. So this is raw material 3. And the consumables, let's say we will give some 50 euros or maybe 100 euros. Material origin. For this origin group is not required because we use the separate valuation class, okay? Okay. So with this, we have created all the raw materials. Okay. For creating, I mean, this all master data not relevant for us. I would like to tell you that as well. So the material master will be created from the logistics teams, like the team, or basically the team will create the material master, and bombs also will be created by the team. Okay, CS01. So what is this one? FC 100 bomb usage 1. We are going to create bomb for this finished product. Okay. Item category L. L means stock item. Okay. Now we need to select all the components. Oh my goodness. So many things like RM100. How many quantities are required? We need 4 quantities. Okay. Next one. What is it? Just say RM 200, I believe. This we need one quantity. L3. Next SFC 100. This also we need one quantity. L. RM 300. The external part. Like you can keep some 4 or 5, let's say 4 doors. Right. Okay, let me make it 4. L. We have RM 400. So let's say, I mean, the nuts and bolts, we need some, let's say 2 kg of nuts and bolts. Okay. So we have created the BOM. Okay. If you see here, for making this finished product, we need this BOM, like wheels 4, chassis 1, engine 1, other external parts 4, and 2 kg of nuts and bolts. So this is the bill of material. That's how we create. Now we need to create routing, and then BOM is created, and the next step is routing we have to create. But before creating routing, right? So we need to create work center. Okay. Let's try to create one work center. CR01. Create work center. Okay. Probably PRD1. Please enter a category. Okay. Machine. Okay. Person responsible. Usage. All task list types. Standard value key. Normal production. CR01. This is operation 1. Person responsible. 009. Standard SAP. Okay. Default values. Control key. So this is all, pre master data. So we no need to worry. So here only thing is, for the production people, we need to give us the cost centers. Okay. But how many work centers are they going to use, and that in the discussions we need to participate, and we need to give them the cost centers. Okay. Now we need to give one cost center, like production 1 here. Setup activity type we need to assign here. Oh, M1 activity type M100. Machine. Why it's showing only M100? Basic data. So we have created all M1, P1, but why only one is coming? I don't know. Is it because of we have created everything, right? Oh, I got it now. So if you see here, only this one cost center is there, only planning. Here we have the okay. So this again we need to some planning for all the activity types. Okay, then only it will display here because earlier we have created only here. If you see in the production one, we have maintained the. I mean, we enter the rate and yeah, only one activity type we have calculated the rate earlier. So that's what it's showing, only one activity type here. Okay, M100.